Hey bro, in today's video I want to talk to you about, I want to give you a tip how to be the most interesting person in the room. How to be the guy that after the first date with a girl, she's the one texting you and hitting you up first, trying to set up a second date. The main reason why people want to talk to somebody is because they're pleasant people, first of all, yeah, that may be a factor of it. But second of all, it's because there's something about them that they don't get in someone else. That's it. It's like the simplest way to explain it with it. I got something on my camera. Okay, never mind. They've got something that they cannot get in other people. Now, to some people, I mean, money. But to be honest, do you always want people who want to be around you because of money? No, you don't want that. There are plenty of reasons why. And first of all, the most important one is just being an interesting person, right? Not being generic like everybody else. How do you become that? Well, I'm sure there's plenty of ways, but in my opinion, the best way for that's beneficial for yourself and for other people, and genuinely striking up conversations with people about these things is having stories. Honestly, if you have stories, if you are that guy with the stories, people just want to be around you because they know that you always had a story related to this. Oh, what was your worst date like? Oh, what was your craziest trip like? You always got something. When you got stories to tell, always. First of all, it shows that you're not scared of life. You got experience, or you did something brave, probably, if it's an interesting story. Second of all, it just strikes up conversations. It just makes it more natural because you're telling them something about yourself. So, like for example, when you're on a first date with a girl, I always ask, "What was your worst date like?" And she has some. Usually, some girls have some interesting stories, but some girls just try to play the innocent, right? Some girls are smart, and they're trying to play the innocent girl, like, "Oh, I didn't go on that many dates. I don't know. I don't really got a story. What about you?" So I always then tell them some really interesting story, and I've got plenty of them. So this is like um this is like one of my go-to on the dates, or always I like to ask like, what was a near-death experience? Some people got that, and this is something that's very how should I say, very polarized. No, that's not it. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Very interesting or very intriguing to people because near death, if you're near death, so if you died, you wouldn't have been here. So that makes me that spikes up my interest about what made you not die. So I want to hear the story now. Whenever I ask this to people, I don't usually ask what their near death experience because the majority of people didn't have that. Didn't have that type of adventure, that type of adrenaline, that type of interesting situation. So whenever I tell them mine, they're like, holy shit, dude, that's crazy. And I'm not gonna tell you my stories here on YouTube because imagine this, if a girl that I'm gonna be on a date with sees this video and I tell you all like, my stories in this video, well then I'm fucked, right? Then I have to go out there and wait a second, be that guy with a story. Yeah, this is the title of the video, but how do you become that guy with a story? This is an important thing. How did I get all these stories? I didn't make them up. I lived them. I don't like I don't like it when you make up stories because you always tend to make a mistake in storytelling. You tend to always say something that doesn't make sense. The facts don't add up. Something fucks up and people will find out eventually. How do you get more stories? Now, about the worst first date, obviously that's just go on more dates. That's simple, right? How do you get? I'm not telling you to get a near death experience, or but I'm telling you to get a fucking interesting trip. So go to a big city in your country. You and a buddy of yours, for example, or you can go alone, bro. Go like go to a big city. Go like on a 5 hour train ride and just explore the city, and eventually something interesting will happen. Or go hitchhike. Go climb a mountain for the first time in your life. Go run a marathon. Yeah, bro, this is like really interesting. Give yourself 30 days to prepare yourself for a marathon, and then go on a 42-kilometer run, which I believe that is a marathon. Go do that. Then you're gonna have an interesting story about your first marathon, because that's fucking a lot of people cannot run a marathon, and if you are the type of person who can, bro, you're gonna be a really interesting person. Just do something that you're scared to do, and eventually you're gonna get an interesting story that a lot of other guys don't because they're scared too. You have to think about it like this: if you're scared, other guys are scared too. So, do you want to be better than them? Do you really want to be top 10%, top 1%? Because then you're gonna have to do what they're scared of, which means what you're scared of too. You're gonna have to do that. Or if not, you're gonna stay in your comfort zone, and they are too, but you're gonna be in the same group as them. And girls are gonna treat you the same. So being that interesting guy with the stories means you gotta take some risks. You gotta take some interesting adventures. You gotta go to another country, for example. You gotta experience something. Like if you were to tell me your best ever story, I probably wouldn't be like that interested, to be honest. And also the storytelling. You can tell a good story and make it a bad one or a mediocre one. Storytelling is an art. There's this really good stand-up comedian and storyteller that I really like, and his name is Matthew Dix. Yeah, his name is like interesting, yeah. But Matthew Dix, he is a very very good storyteller and stand-up comedian. So he knows how to tell funny stories. He knows how to tell stories in an interesting manner. He tells serious stories, etc. Watch some of his shows, or I believe he has like some one-on-one coaching for storytelling, or and he sells some courses on storytelling. If you really want to get good at this, I would recommend that. For example, when I was in Hamza's Adonis school for a couple of months, I was on the coaching call with Matthew Dix, and I was literally listening to him, and I was asking him. I believe I asked him a question. Anyhow, I watched the replays of the videos, and I took notes of the lesson he said there. Like, there are so many things that make a story a good story that I didn't know before, and yeah, man, this has helped me a lot. So find don't it doesn't even have to be Matthew. Find a good storyteller or a good stand-up comedian, because they tell good stories too. Usually, they like tell a joke in a story, which is funny a lot of times. Find somebody that's really good at this that people really like, and try to analyze what they're doing. Or if they teach you, they literally coach people on this and they have courses about this. If it's worth to you, honestly, I would consider it. To be honest, for me, that was a return on my investment, because what I've learned from those couple of weeks with Matthew Dix, bro, those lessons about storytelling that I would have never learned on my own. Anyhow, I hope that this video was helpful in any way. If you want to be that guy with the stories, have some adventures, okay? This is like, do something that you're scared of, because on the other side of fear, there's respect, because there's bravery. Brave people are respected. So on the other side of fear, there's a good story. So if you want that story, you have to collect it, but you have to beat the dragon. You have to slay the dragon of fear, like in a video game. It's simple. It's simple enough to me. Anyhow, have a beautiful Thursday, guys. I'll see you tomorrow on the next one.